friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Amanda. So today I have a new what's for dinner video for y'all. I know it's been a little while. I'm glad to be back and I hope all of y'all have been doing well. Definitely chat with me down in the comments. I look forward to talking to you there. These meals are just quick and easy, especially now that I work full time. That's pretty much a requirement to try to make them fairly quick and easy. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy them, but let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's get started on the Copycat Arby's roast beef sandwich with curly fries. And I love Arby's roast beef sandwich, and I thought this would be fun to kind of do at home. And it's super easy. I've just got some unsalted beef broth in my pot, and I add some au jus mix to it. You could use like beef gravy mix, just really whatever, something to give the broth a little bit of flavor because it has no sodium in it, so just a little bit anyway. And I'm just going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to actually dip my roast beef in it. It's going to kind of moisten the roast beef, and also heat the roast beef a little bit so that it's hot. I feel like that's like the best way to do it. Just a quick kind of dunk in the liquid is enough. One thing I absolutely love is Arby's sauce, and I was so excited when they started having that in the grocery stores instead of, you know, just where you would get it if you went and got Arby's, you know. So I was really excited to see that and really excited to try it too. So this was like my first time trying that sauce, and so I was glad that they brought that out in the stores. You know, a lot of the restaurants are doing that with, you know, like Chick-fil-A sauce and Arby sauce, and I love that because it's a nice way to be able to kind of make these meals at home without having to spend all the extra money at, you know, getting to go or eating in somewhere. And so that's, you know, very handy. So now I know that they also sell, I think it's called horsey sauce or something like that, which I think is like a horseradish sauce. And I don't think I've ever tried that, so I need to try that sometime too. But y'all, this was really good. Of course, we made the curly fries in the oven, and we've got our Arby's sandwich with like kind of like a poppy seed onion type roll, I think it was. But yeah, super yummy and quick and fast. And next up we have salmon, roasted potatoes, and green beans. And y'all, those potatoes were so good. Super simple recipe. I mean, we're just going to take and cut up our potatoes, and we're going to add some like olive oil, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika. I didn't add salt because of the Parmesan. You know, I always try to watch my sodium levels. So, but you could definitely add, you know, salt and pepper. And I think I did a little pepper and Italian seasoning. And of course, you know, some grated Parmesan. I just used like the kind in the, you know, the jar, the big canister. But these were really, really good. My whole family like gobbled them up. So this is definitely going to be something that we make often. And this was a really quick dinner too. I actually really like to buy these frozen salmon pieces that already are seasoned. I will say that the one we got this time was a little spicy. I think it was called like Steakhouse or something like that. And it had like a lot of like peppery kind of notes. So if you like a lot of, you know, like that spiciness to it, you would probably really love that one. But we usually get those like when they're buy one get one free at Publix, and so that makes it a pretty good deal because, you know, any kind of fish can kind of get a little pricey. I didn't measure any of these ingredients, by the way, for the potatoes. I do have a recipe I can link in the description box, but I just kind of eyeballed everything. I feel like with stuff like this, you know, you're going to get it pretty close. You know, it's not, it's going to be, you know, good either way. All those are good ingredients. So, and yeah, my hands are so dry. I try to use a glove like that when I'm doing that stuff, so I don't have to wash my hands as many times when they get all that seasoning on it and stuff. I can take the glove off instead of washing my hands. But I did go ahead and put that in the oven for a little bit, for I think about 10 minutes or so, just to kind of start cooking the potatoes, because I wanted to make sure they were done and that the, you know, but at the same time the salmon was. And so I just went ahead and put my salmon on there after they had baked for just a little bit and put that back in the oven. And I'm fixing to show you the package of the salmon, so in case you like to, you know, get salmon too. It's like wild caught salmon and Morris. Yeah, CPAC Morris. And so we really enjoy it. But I have some fresh green beans here that I'm just going to kind of saute in a skillet. I've got some olive oil in there, and then also I'm going to kind of let them all get kind of, you know, moistened with that. And then I'm going to add some like garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, onion salt, all that kind of stuff. You can really use whatever, you know, seasonings you like to use. And I'm just going to get all this kind of stirred around, and I add just a little bit of water to kind of let it like steam, and we'll put the lid on it and kind of let it steam for just a little bit. And then once that does that, you can go ahead and take that lid off and start letting them cook a little longer and kind of getting, you know, good and done. But we still wanted them like a little crisp to them. My son, he loves like when they kind of have a little bit of crunch, a little bite to them still. And so I don't cook them all the way like to where they're softer. But you could really do this however you like. If you want them less cooked, more cooked, you know, you can do it. You just cook them longer, you know, especially that steaming portion. You might just use a little more liquid, let it steam a little longer. And I feel like when you do that and then you kind of finish sauteing them, I don't know, I just feel like they have a really good flavor to them, and they turn out really well. We like them every time we do them that way. So really good, you know, easy meal. And trust me, like with me working full time now, it definitely needs to be like quicker type things that I can, you know, get done fairly quickly. And then I maybe can take a little more time on the weekends sometimes and do that. But yeah, these potatoes were amazing. The whole meal was so good. I definitely recommend it. And I know that I have been making chili a lot. I feel like lately my kids like really love it, and I make it different ways each time. Well, not each time, but I kind of have like different spins I do on it sometimes. So I've kind of got this Cajun mirepoix, and I'm putting some garlic in here. I always usually use at least one packet of chili seasoning. I get like the reduced sodium one, and then I kind of also supplement with my own spices. So I tend to put in like, you know, garlic powder, onion powder. Of course, I put garlic and like chili powder. I have some different chili powders, and I kind of put like different ones in there, and maybe some cumin and some, you know, Mexican oregano, and like I just throw like lots of stuff in there. So and of course you got to have your pinto beans. I love pinto beans and chili, and then we always usually put kidney beans in there. And I've got some petite diced tomatoes. I prefer the petite diced over like the bigger chunks, because I don't just love the huge chunks of tomatoes in there. And I do put a little tomato sauce as well. And then I also add like some beef broth, and that kind of, you know, obviously it depends on how soupy you want your chili. We like to put like crackers in it or things like that. And so that's kind of, you know, something that I enjoy to have a little bit more soupy, like, so it can kind of soak up in the crackers will soak it up and everything. And then I also have a video that has like all kinds of stuff you can do with leftover chili, and that's been a pretty popular video. All that stuff was really yummy, so I'll definitely link that down in the description box too, in case you want to see that and see some of the different things we do with chili, because I feel like chili is such an easy, quick meal, especially like, you know, I've told y'all before, I like to cook my ground beef and freeze it. And so when you have that in the freezer and you can just throw that all, you just throw it all in a pot and let it go for a little while, or in the crock pot, or I guess you could even do it like in an Instant Pot, you know, whatever you want to, however you want to cook it. And it just makes for like such a quick and easy meal. It's really hearty. And then it's always really, you know, good leftover. I feel like it almost gets better after it's left over. I just put in a can of fire roasted tomatoes, by the way, and that's really good too when I do that. Like, I'm telling you, I just a lot of times just throw whatever like sounds good at the time I make it. It just kind of depends. And I do like to let it cook for a little while to kind of let it, you know, those flavors meld together. And like I said, it does taste even better overnight, I feel like. And so many ways you can reuse the leftovers and make something kind of new out of it. But, you know, we just love sometimes just doing crackers, maybe some shredded cheese, that type of thing. Or it's even really good like with grilled cheese. That's really good too. Definitely a crowd pleaser. So I just want to show you all these pumpkin cookies. I actually filmed this a while back, but things have just been crazy, and I just have not gotten to film as much as I would like to have. And so I got this mix. A friend of mine picked it up for me at Trader Joe's, and so I'm just making it by the instructions on the package. I just love Trader Joe's. I wish we had one like locally, because that would be so nice, but so anytime like I can get stuff from there, I love doing that and trying it. I will have to say that like these weren't like the absolute best cookies. I feel like they had, like, you can kind of see they were very crumbly, and it almost made them extremely hard to kind of you know, make in a cookie form. I just started using my hands after a while, because like that was just a little easier to kind of mash them together. But they were good. It's just they were a little different than I kind of thought they would be. But you know, I think it's fun to try the different seasonal stuff when Trader Joe's has it. So if y'all have any favorite, like, you know, things that you use at Trader Joe's, you buy and eat and like a lot from there, let me know, because one of these days maybe I'll get to go again. But yeah, these were something different. You know, we're glad we tried them, but they weren't like necessarily our favorite. But they were still, you know, still decently good. So but yeah, I love trying all their new products. But thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope y'all have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.